Am I live? Am I here? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, can you hear me now? I am not smoking a cigar. I'm about to put a fat fucking pinch of fucking Copenhagen in. How's everybody doing? I've got Chicken Joe modding and I've got J-Rod modding. So if anybody wants to fucking show their ass and act a fool, then we're gonna see some fucking time in the penalty box. Y'all see me look to my right. I got a monitor here so I can see the comments. I'm also got Chicken Joe next to me here. So if you guys got questions or shit you want me to address or stuff you want to say, just go ahead and push it out. And if I don't see it in the chat, Chicken Joe here will make sure that we address what y'all are looking at. Oh, well, of course, Harry will show his ass. This motherfucker. Y'all got kids in the room, I'm sorry. Let me know you got kids in the room. I'll try to control my profanity. Otherwise, you know, it's what it be. What's going on, Jay? Good to see you, big dog. Well, it is motherfucking Friday. My Friday was yesterday, so technically this is my first day off. I am not retired yet. So any of the shit y'all bring up, if I can't directly address it because I still am active, I'll let you know that's not something I can talk about at this point in time. So, Clarity Act. Who's ready? Who's ready for Clarity Act? She goes to public school and hears it in the bus. I felt that. I felt that in my nuggets. Thanks, Cindy. I appreciate you. Giant hugs. Giant hugs. Yeah. Lou was definitely the big enchilada. I miss that dude. Miss that dude. Yep, Jason's got it right. Retirement. The key word is yet. Been eligible. In my 29th year, so in all reality, I can go at any point in time. I still see a need for a little bit. Still got some good guys that work for me, but the need for me to be around is fastly approaching the end, where I can have a beautiful mustache like J-Rod and Chicken Joe. Which Chicken Joe can thank me for that mustache because I'm directly responsible for it. So clarity is how do I put this delicately? I think that the nuts and bolts of clarity are already on paper in the right people's hands. Being able to get it through past that 60 vote threshold without resistance is where I think we're at right now, and they're looking for the right timing with it. Now, the geopolitics of the last, let's say 3 weeks, a month, have been very, very interesting. What's going on, bro? What's going on? Sorry, I got the chat right here. I'm like, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. Normally, I got it set up. I don't have nothing where I can see y'all's comments. I got to have the phone right here, and you guys are like, you're too fucking ugly. Back up from the camera. But, oh, sorry. I got a little bit of glare coming in here. I'm going to wipe the monitor up. I just smeared it. But as far as it comes with clarity, we got the delay last week because of, and let's start this off before I get sued. It's speculative. Everything is speculation. We had the Coinbase CEO throw some shit out the night before the vote and put a pause on the whole damn thing. Now, those of y'all that have been with us for a hot minute through the early days of retail trading on Wall Street will understand exactly how some of us feel about banks, exchanges, and most of all, CEOs. Well, we don't trust none of them. And there's a reason, because you'll probably see in the comments here shortly is, what's up, Tex? You'll probably see in the comments here in a little bit. A lot of us got fucked over for a grip of cash by a CEO and exchanges. Some of us got fucked over by exchanges when it came to taking the fucking buttons away. So you have a CEO of an exchange blowing shit out there. I will tell you guys, and if you're following me on X, you've probably seen the posts. The CEO will always act in the best interest of his company and of his own wallet. And for anybody to say, oh, he's acting in the best interest of all the people, that's bullshit. That's bullshit until proven otherwise. What's up, Poos? Oh, yes, fuck popcorn, indubitably. Yep, Texas got it right. We got the emotional damage. Damn, look at all the fuck popcorns. Swedish meatball. Alright. Alright. While I do think that initially the intentions were to cut into the yields a little too deep, and where Coinbase had their eyes on the ball is a valid point, but it's not a deal breaker. It's not something that should delay the entire vote, because all this shit, we get the initial in, and then there's going to be changes and modifications as we go through them, because shit's going to work, and then there's going to be shit that's not going to work, and we're going to have to adjust on the fly. The legislation's going to have to be massaged and adjusted on the fly. It's brand new. But for a CEO of an exchange to pop up and say that we're going to fucking throw a pause on the whole damn thing, when you have others that actually make coin and provide other portions of the crypto community involved saying, no, we're good with it because we already know this is the initial step of putting those guardrails in place. To be able to ease the pressure off from the banking side, I believe that was the attempt with that and holding the yields off, but unfortunately, that's not going to remain. So you have to be... Who the fuck is this? Are you real? Do I know you? Do I know you in a biblical sense? Hey, one of you mods, help her, please. Bye. When it comes down to the legislation on the crypto side, the banks want some input in, because they understand what Lou and I told you guys 3-4 years ago, that the entire system, the whole fucking enchilada, is going to be on the chain. Everything that should be on the chain will be on the chain. I don't think that everything should be on the chain, and tokenization, but that's a different talk for a different day. However, when it comes to finances, Wall Street, and a lot of portions where we can get it on a chain and make it faster, cheaper, smoother, we're cutting settlement times from sometimes a month or weeks down to seconds, and we're reducing the cost to pennies. That's a beautiful thing, and that scares the shit out of the banks. Why? Because the banks make the money. You all remember this on the street side when T.O. was teaching us, like, from the time you guys buy in to the time you get your shares, they're making all that money in between, all those delays, and we end up with the failure to delivers and all that bullshit. That's what he's talking about. That's what the banks are banking on now, is having your money. And if y'all are following Eric Trump, he even pointed it out. Like, they're making money on your money over the weekend where they definitely shouldn't be. The banks are soon going to become a thing of the past if they do not adjust fire into a role in which they work with crypto and not against it. So I think certain bankers are in line to do what they need to do to stay relevant, and then there's others that probably catching a $5 billion lawsuit is going to make them kneel to Zod, which they should, because they're an evil fuck, and I'm not going to bring that dude up again. However, the bank that he's involved in was also involved in a country that we just went down and snatched somebody from. So, interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Let's go to the chat here for a second. Hell yeah, Adam. Hell yeah. Deuce Keller. What's up, brother? What's up? Yep, GME was primed for a rip. Robinhood did them dirty. It's what it is. Unfortunately, a lot of us got fucked up on the street side. Fortunately, it was for a reason and had a purpose. Greg, hey, make Greg a moderator, please. Nice to see you, big dog. I miss you. I wish I could have gotten together with you and your beautiful bride when you guys were out here. We're gonna have to set something up next time you guys are in town. I'll have to cruise your guys' way. With GME and AMC and all the other plays that we were involved in, a lot of us made a lot of money, including me. But we lost a lot of money too on plays that we shouldn't have. We are all here for a reason, and I'm grateful and thankful for every single one of you guys throughout the entire process, whether it was the Wall Street side, whether it was the green sheets after Wall Street, whether it's now here in crypto. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. You guys are here for a reason. Let me speak that purpose to you. You are loved. There is a plan for your life. You are here for a reason. God puts you here right now with this group of people and this community because we have never failed one another. And the information and the education that Big John, oh God, Big John's up in the chat. I love you, Big John. Hey, Big John, you want to do a Spaces later? I think we should do a Spaces later. We can get everybody involved and they can call in. We can give them the mic. I'm not going to sidetrack this, but John, hit me up if you want to do a Spaces later. We can get on the Spaces. I got some shit to do after this, but then we'll get it done. Or we get Greg involved in that too. He's always a good time. So y'all are here for a reason. The education that you guys got from Tio Lou is priceless. And the longer we're in this game and the more time that has gone by and watched all the little lessons that Lou taught us and watching him teach y'all, I was learning more and more and more, and now I'm seeing stuff to where I'm identifying things earlier because I have a different mindset. We have a hard mindset because of what we were prepared with when we were on the street side. Y'all have been prepared for this moment. Can you imagine what we're going through right now, and as close as we are with what's about to happen if this was our first experience? There's some of you first timers out there. You've never been involved. You ever made no money at levels where you're unfuckwithable. It's been a hot minute, but unfuckwithable it's a beautiful term that Lou put on my heart. He said, make enough money to make sure nobody can fuck with you ever. But if we were here and we were experiencing this for the first time without that education that Lou brought us, how much harder would this be right here? Years people have gone through the ringer with XRP, the SEC bullshit, and now the constant delays. And understand that clarity was supposed to be passed in early October. The boss wanted it done before the holidays, and he said so. You guys are going to have a great holidays. He had the expectation it was going to go through unopposed, and then with the delays, the government shut down, fucked everything up. Unfortunately, we have some idiots in this country that don't belong here because they're not American, and they fucked us over some really stupid shit. But neither here nor there without getting too political. Y'all know where I stand. The delays went through. They're probably going to try to shut it down again. We'll see if the knuckleheads on the hill can get this shit taken care of. I really don't give a fuck about the budget bill at this point. I don't. I honestly don't. And everybody says, "Oh, we shouldn't be spending." Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't be spending that. But you know what? Once we can push and get the new financial system in place, the debt is fucking gone. It's fucking gone. Nobody will ever be able to look and say Donald Trump was a fucking failure when the national debt is gone. Now, a lot of people won't understand when I say that, but you have to understand that like we owe very little to outside of the US, whether it's countries, companies, whatever. And the stuff that is outside the country, they bought our token. I shouldn't even say tokenized. They bought our debt in the way of bonds. So it's what it is. But when we're talking about the debt and where it's 37, 38, 39 trillion, whatever it may be, that's in the negative. That's what we are in the negative. We kept spending. It's like you or I, we got a checkbook and we keep spending. The bank's like, fuck you, and they cut us off. Well, we didn't cut off the government's checkbook, so their accounts in the red, and it just keeps going in the red. So we owe ourselves that money. The government owes the taxpayers that money. Well, when this new system goes into place and we have assets under management, another term you guys learned from the street, which lays out you're holding digital technologies and different cryptocurrencies for different usages that all hold an intrinsic value. Those in possession by the government are assets under management. So we have assets under management that will cover that entire debt that we have out. Maybe some of the bonds that are outstanding will have to be covered. But other than that, we'll be back in the black, operating in the black. Then we can work about having a fiscally responsible government leading us. And I think we're all on the same page that we should not be spending what we're spending in certain areas. And a lot of the work that Elon did with Doge has shown us that there's a lot more fraud than we thought there was. And then you look at what's happening in Minnesota with Tampon Tim, and he's about to go to prison. And then you look at what's happening in California and Gruesome Newsom. He's been under investigation since February and still walks around like he has something that anybody wants to hear, when he'll probably be indicted here shortly, because the fraud in Newsom's California, because that's where I live, makes Minnesota and the Somalis look like child's play. Let's just say it involves NGOs that are run by somebody very close to him. Those of us in California want to know where the fire relief money went. Magically disappeared to NGOs. We want to know where the money for the high-speed railway went. Disappeared to NGOs. So, neither here nor there. Shit going on chain prevents stuff just like this. Because now when our money as Americans goes into that system, it's on the chain, and we can say, hey, where the fuck did that money go? What was it spent on? And they can track it down to the penny. Now we get into taxation. Taxation is theft. No matter what you think, if you think we live in a free country, you are living in a fucking pipe dream. While I love my country, I believe that taxing your citizens 50 to 60 to 70% is absolutely asinine. And we dumped tea in the Boston Harbor for much less. It's a system that needs to be done away with or fixed. I fully support a flat tax, but it's across the board. No matter how much you make, no matter who you are, flat tax would fix the problem, keep what needs to be running, and get rid of everything else that doesn't need to be running. With that being said, and I'm going to say something that's kind of unpopular, that if you're not a contributing member and paying that tax, you do not have and shouldn't have a right to vote. Now, if you're a retiree or you're disabled, that does not preclude you from voting. But if you're a lazy motherfucker that lives off the state or the federal government, you don't get to vote. I'm sorry. Because people that rely on the government are always going to vote for the candidate that's going to give them free shit. It's just how it is. And I'm sorry if that's fucking not popular, but it's what it is, because I've been a taxpayer my whole life. My grandparents been taxpayers. I'm from Central Iowa, and y'all probably saw my tweet to Grassley. We do things a little different. We treat things a little different. It's not about removing one section of person's ability to vote, not women, not minorities, none like that. If you are not paying that tax, you are not actively contributing to society, you shouldn't be deciding on who's leading us. Plain and simple. Now let's get back to the crypto shenanigans. I'm gonna check in over here first. Where
Cindy was asking some good questions.
Cindy?
She was asking about the carry and if that was going to affect XRP. Trying to find it in here so I can quote it word for word. Will the reverse carry trade have an effect on how fast XRP is implemented?
The reverse what?
Reverse carry trade.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't. Realistically, once clarity is passed, I know there's a delay on Genius, and they did that on purpose because they were unsure with the timeline, so they just gave themselves a fucking wide berth. Kind of like some of these dudes that are talking shit in the chat, their moms, they need a wide berth. Come on. Who am I? Once clarity gets signed, hits the president's desk and it's signed, it's going to be almost immediate. Why? Because the financial system that the president wants to put into place to be able to make Americans financially free, or have the option to be financially free because they can now control their money, where it goes, how it's spent, who's using it and when. We're going to see an immediate climb up because the powers that be on the banking side will have no choice. Everything is going to flow in stable coins as opposed to your fiat money now. And the fiat money now, everybody says, oh, we're going to go to digital banking and the world's going to crumble. Oh, woe is me, the sky is falling. Shut the fuck up. We're already living in a digital world. There's fucking, who carries cash? Fucking criminals. Ain't nobody else carries cash. So we're already living in a digital world. Look at the amount of fiat U.S. money that's supposed to be in circulation. Do you honestly think there is that much paper money in the existence of the world? There's not. It's all digital. Like Lou used to explain to you guys, your fucking bank, your wealth, your assets is all a number and an account. That could be shitty. We have an EMP or something like that. You can definitely get your ass fucking held to the fire. But as most of y'all know, we don't put all of our eggs in one basket. So moving forward, as this starts to rise and you guys start to create some wealth, some usable wealth, what you want to do with your cold wallets and however you're storing your digital assets is you're going to want to keep those close to the chest. You want to secure those properly as you have been. Cold wallet, off the net, secured in a Faraday bag, buried in concrete in the ground, however y'all are doing it. Only move what you need into an account with whoever you're banking with. However you're going to go to point of sale purchases, whether it's groceries, vehicles, housing, whatever, your day-to-day, your daily money. And then set up a plan and decide what you're going to need. And you can do it quarterly, you can do it semi-annual, you can do it annually. And then you move that amount of currencies, those digital assets, off of your cold wallets into your financial institution, which will be converted at that point. Because like J-Rod and I have talked about many times, converting some of those digital securities, I can't even call them securities because they're not securities anymore. I gotta bite my tongue. Hold on. Smack myself. It's not a security. Your digital assets, moving your digital assets, you should definitely have stable coins already created from that at different price points that you're choosing in your cold wallet, so that when you get to that point where you do need money, you're going to be moving stable coins over, and you're not going to be giving your financial institutions the assets they're going to want, which are your XRP tokens or other tokens of value, because those are the ones they're really going to want, but they're not going to be willing to pay you future value on them. So we're dealing in future. These coins are only going to go up in value. They're not going to go down. As they become more scarce, more governments need them, more organizations need them, they're going to become scarce. You're going to want to sell, or I shouldn't even say sell. You're going to want to transition those tokens into a stable coin, and hopefully a US-based stable coin for those of y'all here in the States. I know not everybody's in the States. For those of y'all in the UK, or Australia or Germany, you guys are gonna have to figure out how you're gonna move your assets around. For us here in the States, it has already been put out, but is not ink to paper yet that U.S. Stable coins, U.S. Based cryptos will not be taxed on a capital gains scale. So that's good for us. That's going to be your standard tax rate. So whatever you make, and you could be making 100 grand a year right now. So whatever you cash out is going to put you into the tax bracket of where you're gonna have to pay taxes on that. But moving stable coins over on that quarterly to semi-annual to annual basis to be able to provide for your day-to-day needs is what you want to do. You don't want to have everything in a financial institution, because who remembers how much a bank account is insured for through FDIC? Come on, let me see it in the chat. $250,000, Mojo. Hit the nail on the head. There's Greg. Hell yeah. Killer Duckling. Y'all got this. I am preaching to the choir. So, can you have more than that in an account? Of course you can. But I would say, if you're going to have more than $250K in a traditional financial institution, make sure it's not more than you can afford to lose. So the bank folds up shop and you get the Julio no here no more. It's what it is. You go make more money. Somebody said 10K. No. It's much more than 10K. You're insured up to 250 grand.
Big John says per bank account, but if they're all in one banking institution and that banking institution goes under, then you lose all of it.
You lose all of it. Big John is correct. So there's a reason why people with money have accounts at multiple institutions, because you just saw what they tried with the boss and on the Morgan side and freezing accounts, and now it's gonna cost somebody. It's gonna cost somebody big. So it's been a hot minute. This guy, man, how you name yourself Paisa 57? That is beautiful. I love you, dog. Getting rich is subjective, because one person's rich is another person's comfortable. So you have to decide, what is it that you want to do? You want to buy houses? You want to live comfortably in a one-bedroom studio somewhere where you don't have to deal with people's fuckery? A couple $1 million probably make you fucking pretty comfortable, right? There's other people, they want to live in a big-ass house and have nice-ass cars and have all the toys and shit like that. It may take more than that. So I would replace the term rich with financially free, because the point of what we started when we were on the Wall Street side, and it's continued into the digital technologies on crypto side, is we want to make you guys financially free. Whatever that means to you, that's what we want for you. Whether it's a 27 bedroom, 87 bath mansion in the Hamptons, or whether it's a 2-bedroom condominium in downtown LA, we want to make you guys free to be able to do that. Live life how you see fit. Not trade time for dollars anymore, and not answer to anybody other than your significant other, your children, and the good Lord above. Everybody got that? Plantation. Ooh. How old are you always learning? Yeah, debt free. That's the very first thing y'all do, is pay off everything. Pay off everything, change your freaking address, change your number. What I will tell you, always learning, the plantation and the farm life sounds good until you've done it. I am from a farming family from central Iowa. We farmed corn and soy for the better part of 75, 80 years, like 30,000 acres. I will tell you, it is fucking hard work. It's hard work. So be prepared what you ask for, because if you ask the good Lord to bless you with a plantation and a farm, he's going to expect you to be able to work it. Oh, what else we got? Off the grid. Off the grid is definitely an option. If you guys are more interested in the off the grid stuff, make sure you guys are following good sources for information for that. That way you don't end up looking like one of these doomsday preppers with the bunkers buried 9 fucking million miles under the earth. There's ways to live off the grid that is a normal lifestyle where you're not dumping the majority of your I can't even say hard earned. Yes, we've put in our time, but hard earned is relative. It's not. We're making money. We're not earning it. Earning money is hard. Making money is easy. Sometimes it just takes longer with the plays that you're in than other plays. Some plays are quick rips, and we've been involved in those. This is one of those longer plays, but it is the play. Who else has got a question? Who else? Cindy Lula got a 2-acre farm. Hell yes, she has got it together. What are you hunting and fishing for, Cindy? Let me hear you. Gator, we can get you that DM J-Rod, and he'll get you that out as soon as he can. I'm not sure what his schedule's like, but he has a copy of that, and he'll email it over to you. Thanks, Clan. Appreciate you. Good to see you guys, too. That dude, ISO 57. I would not be here if I was not fucking holding. I can't. J-Rod, if I had him here, he would look at you like, this dude is holding so much. He needs bigger hands. That's how much he's holding. XRP, yeah, yep, not touching that. Another one you guys should be interested in and stacking up while you can, while it's cheap, is going to be ZBCN. ZBCN is Zebra, Bravo, Charlie, November. It is a payroll management technology. Okay? I want you guys to understand that. We work now. You got your end of your pay period, and then it takes fucking numerous days to get paid for you to get your paycheck. ZBCN is that technology that's going to be part of the financial system to fix that, where pay period ends, you get paid. So they're sub penny right now. So you guys got spare change, dump in on that. It's not something. It's something to dump your extra change in on and forget. Forget about it until it's time to move it. I haven't seen Dre in here yet. Dre put me on that and said, "Hey, we definitely need to get the family in on this." He did all the legwork for me. So Zebcoin, definitely the way to go for one of those secondary plays that's gonna have a run after the new system gets swinging. Hell yeah, there's some government shit with that one. They want in on it too. The government's using Oracle and all kinds of shit right now to pay their employees. They definitely want to get a hold of it. Confirm I'm not touching XRP. I have fucking a metric fuck ton of XRP. I don't know what the level above whale is, but dude, come on now. Come on now, I got in at fucking sub 30 cents. I am still very interested in Montana. However, I have my 2 youngins just ain't quite built for that level of cold yet. So that may be more of a vacation home now until I can get them out of high school. And then we shall see. Because Montana level winters, that's a different fucking reality. The physical book never got printed. It was in email form. That may be something that Jared and I look into after we can get settled. Also, in the future, there will be a podcast that It's going to be fur, fins, and feathers with Mr. El Spaghetti. We're going to be doing a bunch of different stuff on it, from hunting, fishing, different outdoor personalities, wildlife, conservationist. I'm also going to have different episodes where we're going to go over current events. We're going to go over the stuff that's occurring on the market, where we should be looking, where we should be ignoring, and then we'll have a little bit of firearms content. But when it comes to the YouTube side, it's not kindly looked upon. So probably take the firearms content to a different platform. But it'll be a podcast, and then there'll also be videos of different fishing and hunting trips and how we do it, why we do it, and then a cooking portion of it. One of my sons is an executive chef, so we're probably going to bring him in on it. And one of my oldest son he's a barbecue genius, so he's going to be starting up a barbecue food truck and smokehouse. So we're gonna be able to get you guys on that good as well. I don't make predictions on XRP, and there's a reason I don't. Because we have no fucking control over it. People buy in, people liquidate. People are day trading it because they're day trading it on a swing. So it's what it is. You guys got what you got. Like Lou always used to tell you guys, buy, hold, and shut the fuck up. So if you're in this to win this, you need to buy it, get it off the exchange into Cold Wallet. And there's plenty of people on here that'll give you examples of where they're using for cold wallets. Then you're going to take it, put it in a Faraday bag. We can fucking give you guys a link on Twitter for Faraday bags via Amazon. Test your Faraday bag when it gets to the house, and then put that shit into a safe, put it into concrete, bury it in the woods, wherever. Stick it in your prison wallet. What am I going to tell you? Secure your shit, and then you'll be able to look at. I'm sorry to hear that, Cindy. My condolences to you. Giant hugs. Was not aware your husband passed. Just broke me midterm. So Cindy's been with us since the beginning. So y'all share some love with Cindy. That's rough. I can't even imagine going through that. My heart breaks. What is Lima Bravo? Who I would have liked to had play Lou would have been Bruce Willis, but Bruce is not doing so hot. I pray for him and his family. J Rod's Mobile, you fucking California vehicle code violating motherfucker.
Press R to make it 3 copies.
Yeah, press R to make it 3 copies. Chicken Joe from the top ropes. Oh yeah, Lima Bravo, got it. Never mind. Hey, hold on. I'm losing my hair. I'm getting a little bit older. Let's just say that we've developed relationships with a bunch of people. And I'm not talking like tick for tack, quid pro quo, like we're giving people stuff, they're giving us stuff. Like when you develop relationships and friendships with people over the course of decades, when stuff starts to happen, and you're in an area of influence, people will give you little tidbits of information. That's why a while back, if anybody you guys saw was like, oh, what's your source? I'm the source, or lose the source. We don't give up sources. Why? Because when you give up a source, they're no longer a source, because you get those and they never talk to you again. So sometimes the information is great, sometimes the information is but we decipher between the two, and we get what's important and imperative out to you. And Lou pushed a lot of stuff out at his own peril, And thank God, it did not cause him more issues than it did. But he put up with a lot of shit on the back end because of the stuff he was pushing out on the Wall Street side that you guys have no clue about. Stuff I'll never talk about other than what I just said right there. But just know that he was getting shit on for all of us. Because they wanted the source of that information too, because it was legit information. It wasn't supposed to be able to be available to us peasants. And it saved us. So here we are. That link didn't work. Oh, Gator's still looking. Okay, so we're going to talk about withdrawing XRP from, it's not really, cold storage is not really a paper wallet. Yeah, you could probably call it that, but cold storage, cold wallet, it's secured off the net. What traditionally, you could sell it. You could take your XRP coins back to an exchange and sell those coins outright for fiat money. However, pause for effect, ... Say it runs to a certain amount and you decide, I'm done with this bullshit and I'm going to sell it all. And now you're stuck with $100 million in fiat cash. What do you do with it? No, realistically, what do you do with it? You trust a traditional financial institution with fucking $100 million of your money that they're going to use, maybe lose? Maybe they close up shop? Not me. Yeah, Killer Duckling, you got it right. So when it comes down to liquidating those XRP tokens from a cold wallet, you're going to want to transition them into a stable, what the percentage. And I won't tell anybody not to dump your entire holdings of XRP when it hits your number. However, for me, I'm in a different position than most people, so I'm going to take a certain number of those that I know is going to create a certain amount, and I'm going to transition those from XRP into a stable coin, and then go from the stable coin into a financial institution. Jason's correct. There's going to be huge delays if you try to move that much FEDIA around. However, with the new system, it should speed that up a little bit. However, the banks are still going to be trying to catch up on their own. Sorry, I'm reading Scotty's comment. Yeah, me too, brother. Yeah, me too. You only want to move enough XRP to create the stable coins that you're going to need for your current needs. So say you're going to buy a house. Say the house is 500 grand. You're going to buy a car or a couple cars. So another 200 grand. You need $150,000 for 12 months of living. So you take that, you know what you need, you take that XRP out of your cold wallet, transition it over to your exchange of choice, but instead of selling that, you're going to transition it into a stable coin. Ideally, the exchange is going to fucking keep the XRP fucking tokens, and then they're going to turn them. But it's much easier to go from a cold wallet to an exchange, stable coin to bank, because the bank's going to want the stable coin. Listen to Matthew. The stable coins, the bank will want the stable coins. If you try to go from your cold wallet to an exchange, moving an XRP token, you're probably going to run into issues. Or you go from XRP in your cold wallet and you sell it at the exchange to fiat dollars, you're going to have delays from the exchange to the bank with those fiat dollars. And then when it hits the bank, you're going to get delayed again at the bank, because that's a shit ton of money. You're moving $700,000, $800,000, $900,000 in fiat money. You're setting off fucking triggers that cover fucking Title 31. Moving large amounts of money. They got to make sure you're not laundering money. They got to make sure it's not coming from organized crime. However, you are rolling with the big boys. You are now a crypto genius. So what you want to do is move the stable coin, because the stable coin is going to be fucking readily available. The banks are going to be like, oh, stable coin money. We know where this guy's coming from. Hopefully that answers your question. I would hold whatever the banks are using. So if it's USDC, if it's RLUSD, I would do your research, know which banks, especially the banks that you're using. If they're not using RLUSD and they're using USDC, definitely roll with that. Just make sure it's a US based stable coin and you're not going to have any issues with that. I could tell you, yeah, you should hold both equally, but if you have a bank that is only recognizing one stable coin to another, you might run into delays and issues with that. So,
AAA Bagdog asked, "Hey Elk, is Bitcoin still going to be something that people are going to want to hold, or is it something that will take a hit?"
Bitcoin is a hold of wealth. Understand that. Bitcoin is apples to oranges when it comes to the XRP technology and the Ripple technology. Okay, Bitcoin has a purpose. Now we're seeing a Bitcoin's what, between 90 and 100 grand right now. There's a reason it's there. For those of y'all that have been around, we watched the fucking skyrocket during COVID. Where'd all that money come from? We know who pumped fucking Bitcoin's bags, and it was the big banks. We know they're holding a storage of fucking wealth off their books in fucking Bitcoin. So they were talking about the new legislation having a caveat in there for bank bailouts for a future financial crisis, and I responded to the powers that be in a private way on the back channels that fuck all of that unless the big banks publicly dump their Bitcoin, the Bitcoin they think we don't know about, the Bitcoin they don't want us to know about, unless they dump that now and we see the actual price of Bitcoin. Because the actual price of Bitcoin is not fucking 100 grand. I'm sorry. Bitcoin is looking at a crash at some point in time because of who holds it and what they do. If it was fucking Joe Shit the Ragman's holding Bitcoin, he's had it since it was fucking pennies, cool, good on him. I got no issues with that. But we have banks that are using Bitcoin to keep assets shielded from scrutiny when the overnight window opens up because they can't make their deposits, and they're going to the overnight window for the Fed and asking for money when they've got $3 billion in Bitcoin stored up behind the scenes for that fucking rainy day. So Bitcoin does serve a purpose in a hold of wealth. However, pause for effect, ... Remember, Bitcoin is slow and expensive. Yep, Clan's got it. A lot of that Tether fucking Bitcoin shenanigans, they were pumping Bitcoin with Tether, and they didn't think a lot of us are paying attention. Benji, what's up, big dog? Good to see you, man. Yep. Exchange is cashing up. Hell yes. I remember you, dude. He said eating chicken wings. Granddad. Hell yes. I love me some chicken wings. I am currently cutting because I partook a little too much over the holidays. And I was a fat body. You're going to see big shit coming out of Africa. Box Media. Africa is going to be tokenizing a grip of shit. They're going to be tokenizing minerals. They're going to be tokenizing their diamonds. They got a bunch of gold in Africa as well. Africa has been kept off the radar for 100 years on purpose, and it was wrong the entire time because Africa is going to be a very, very plentiful place here in the not so distant future.
Vast oil supply.
Hey, J. Ross blowing kisses. Hey, who was following that fucking that feed yesterday with that knucklehead after I posted the day before that President Trump said that he's about to sign the the market structure bill and make Americans financially free, and the dude called me out saying I was full of shit until I posted the clip. Paisa, in reality, bro, the creators of the coin have already pushed out where it's most functionable at. Excuse me. Have already pushed out where it's most functional at, and it's not. The functionality portion of it has nothing to do with us as retail traders of the coin or retail investors of the coin. The functionality of XRP is at that government and institution and banking level. And let's just say the number that they pushed out for the functional number is the bare minimum. Y'all probably can see in the chat, somebody can throw up what Brito pushed out as XRP's functional amount for best operability. Yep, you got it right. That's the bare minimum that I'm thinking. Now, there's the bone of contention is when the bill's signed. Gotta get some caffeine in the system. Starting to get a headache. I'm trying to cut this shit out too. The bone of contention is when the legislation's signed and everything goes live and the banks start buying. Are we going to see an incremental rise, or are we going to see an instant to a certain price where it's going to hover and hang? Being that things be what they are, I can see the price going from where it's at now to somewhere where it's unattainable by peasants like you and me. On purpose. Not just because, they want to make money. I think they're going to want to lock people out. And if you go incrementally from $2 to $3 to $4 to $5, people are going to see that run, and people that aren't in it now are going to try to get in on it, especially all the way up through the hundreds and then into the thousands. You're going to still have people trying to ride that train in. I don't think they want that. I think they're going to want to keep as many of those coins close to the chest with the people and the organizations that need them as possible. So I'm forecasting that it's going to go from where it's at now. It's going to go to from that $2 to $5 range through the fucking roof, and nobody's going to be able to touch it. Yeah, Lou was a fighter, man. He did it his way, bro. He lived his entire life his way. I gotta respect it, man. I think BIS is ultimately the one that gives the nod, to put that appropriately. Because the BIS doesn't belong to a country, it doesn't belong to an organization, and the gentleman is very smart. I will not talk badly about him on here. So I think BIS will be directly involved with how, when, and how much. Silver fucking went through the roof, brother. If you bought silver fucking a couple years ago, you are sitting fucking pretty with that. You got to decide whether you're going to flip some of that or you're going to let that shit ride. I don't see silver falling anytime soon.
Gold went up in this last year pretty high too.
Yeah, gold's retarded. Gold's been retarded for a hot minute. I think Zebcoin, I think ZBCN is going to run after we get the system in place. I don't think it can run concurrent. It's possible, It's possible for lightning to strike me through my roof right now. Likely. I see Zebcoin and some of the other technologies similar to that. that have a definitive purpose. And everybody asks me, how do I know what crypto to get into? Well, you got to look at the coin's purpose. What's the purpose of it? What's the technology do? If it doesn't have a purpose, it's shit. Don't touch it.
It's just a dump.
You may be able to fucking catch it early and get lucky and have one of those fucking runs and then be part of a pump and dump. But if you're doing this for real and you're focused on fucking providing generational wealth for you and your family, stay away from shit that doesn't have a purpose. If you see a purpose with it and you find coins that got a purpose and you think it's a good fucking deal, you can push it to me, you can push it to J-Rod, you can push it to Greg. If Dre was up in the chat, you can push it to Dre. They'll run down back channels with that and be able to tell you, hey, yeah, this is a fucking good thing. Let's get the family involved in this. Because that's why when Dre brought that to me, I vetted it and we immediately pushed it out to y'all because ZBCN is nothing to look down upon. And we saw some light runs in that where we had made decent money on it, but it wasn't up where you could tell somebody had implemented that technology into their payroll systems yet. That's why I never came on and said, hey, y'all should dump that. Y'all should dump that. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Killer Duckling. As I see them and I can vet them, I'll push them out to y'all. If I cannot vet a play, I will not push it. And so y'all know, because there's always fucking idiots on fucking X, I am not monetized on X. So I'm not out there spitting shit out and giving fucking deadlines and price points and everything else because I need the fucking likes, I need the shares, I need the fucking interactions to make that paycheck. I don't get a paycheck from Elon. It'd be nice, but I don't get a paycheck from Elon. However, I still love him. Is this dude fucking serious right now?
Yeah, we should look at that.
Did he just join? Hey, somebody help him. Y'all can throw it in the chat and let him know. Hey, we just did that. Is my mic on? Can you guys hear me? I'm so confused. Do I have to start over? I love you, Norm. XDC, XLM are still fucking excellent plays. Still excellent plays. You cannot go wrong with either one of those. They will make you money. However, the main play you should be in is XRP. Yep. Killer Duckling threw it out there. Yeah, no problem, Gator. I'm going to hopefully try to do this more with y'all. I am back on day shift now. So what my intention after chopping it up with y'all yesterday is we're going to try to do a table talk like this, a table talk live at least once a week where I can get on. We're going to address anything. Oh, hold on. I see something about shitty weather. Where you at? Where's the weather shitty? JD Nettles, where's the weather shitty? Because it's fucking beautiful here. Oh, super wedgie. I love you, dog. Hold on. Yep. Yeah, once a week's not gonna put me over the limit. What do you say?
Lowe's is in NC. Yeah. The other guys are just not to do it.
Okay. Raleigh, hell yes. Been shitty in Raleigh, huh? You got that East Coast magic going on over there. And why? Damn, Jason, did that hurt to fucking put that in there? Oh. God damn, you guys just elected a fucking communist. I know not all of New York is New York City. I get it. Philly? Yeah. I have no clue what the Jake Claver domino theory is. I don't. To be honest, I don't. I stay in my lane. If y'all want to light me, you can. Oh shit. 20 below. Yeah, I'm cool off that. Hey, J Rod, didn't you just get back from Michigan? Yep. Wisconsin's fucked too, man. I get it. This message is held for review. Somebody review that.
Some of these reviews are goofy. So his comment was, I always wanted to see you and Lou vaporize the ape father.
I was Gator. Richie? We ain't gotta worry about Richie. Richie kind of fucking, and we knew, and I used to tell Lou all the time, hey man, just leave that dude alone, bro. He's gonna fucking do it to himself. That dude, man, I pray for him. I pray that that man can find some peace in his life, and that the good Lord would bless him beyond measure, because he's in a rough spot. Oh, Iran's been fucking imminent for a minute. I don't know who Jake is, and I'll have to look into that domino theory. But yeah, we want to get into geopolitics, man. Um, y'all know the difference between a Muslim nation and an Arab nation?
I'm not sure, Gator. The review system for here is automated and weird.
Yeah, Chicken Joe's telling me the review system's automated. But we got you, bro. We got you. So we started looking at Iran and some of the bullshit that's gone over there. We already fucked up their nuclear capabilities. And the regime there needs to go. The people are ready to fucking burn their own country down, as they should. Um, the ironic portion of this for most of y'all youngins, you don't understand that the regime that's in place there is there because we fucking put them there. Who can tell me the year we put them there? We installed that regime, and now they've done what they've done and the crazy shit that they've done for however many decades. And the regime change needs to happen. Yep, there it is. 1978, baby. We got some scholars in here. So 78, we installed them. 78, 79. You have Muslim nations and you have Arab nations, like Qatar or Saudi Arabia or UAE. They're Arab nations. They're not Muslim nations. They're Arab nations. We have issues with Muslim nations because that's where the majority of the violence comes from. So that needs to change because, unfortunately, being a Muslim nation, they have Jews, they have Catholics, they have Christians, they have Buddhists, and those people are being persecuted in that land. Like every time somebody brings up Israel and the Jews, I get a little butthurt because Israel, not everybody's Jewish in Israel, and there's Muslims that are Israeli and Christians that are Israeli. So we have to be very sensitive when we use the term the Jews because it's not. Israel's in a state right now where we were a couple of years ago, where the people hate their government. They just do. Netanyahu's a fucking war criminal, and his days are numbered. But neither here nor there. I'm not going to get into that. I get this fucking feed clipped. So when you guys hear people saying, "Oh, it's the Jews," let's not. It's the Israeli government's doing fucked up shit and needs to be fucking reined in. But they're part of the issue in dealing with certain Muslim countries, and I'm glad that the other Arab nations in the area have given us some rope to deal with the Israeli government as opposed to fucking them up, for lack of a better term, because The Arab nations fucking just want to be left alone like everybody else. Now the Muslim nations, they want to fucking kill you and your whole family. That's the Aloha snack bar crowd, and fuck them and the goat they ruin it on. Just a heads up for anyone Jake Claver channel. What's up with that, dog? You in here advertising for another channel, bro?
We were talking about his domino effect theory.
Oh, that's cool.
Financial institutions are quietly adopting XRP, creating a domino effect. That's what his theory is.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Well, soon enough, the banks won't be doing it quietly anymore.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna need stablecoin in mass. Yep, under 50 cents. Hell yeah. Yep. Uncle Jerky. My man. No, you're good, Paisa. You're good. If the guy's putting out legit information, you're good to go. Now, if the guy seems to be putting out some trash, you're going to have to be the first one to jump into the family and be like, hey, that dude's full of shit. Fucking back the fuck off. So be careful who you endorse. The video when Lou was in the park and met Jesus on the bench. Yeah, that was a good video, bro. It's hard for me to watch fucking his videos now because it hurts me. I miss him. I miss him a lot. What else y'all got? Give me some questions. Yeah, right, Gator? Hey, we told y'all. We told y'all on all those spaces and all the posts. Like, that wasn't just, we didn't just, hold on. Let me pull this out my ass real quick. That wasn't pull out your ass information. But a lot of people called out Tio Lou and it's like, hey, he's full of shit. He's this, he's that, he's the other. Now what? Turn me up. Turn me up, baby. I have not had contact with the cow. If by chance he happens to see a video or come across this or anything like that, if he can reach out whenever he wants. I'll get my number. We can get together. I'd love to meet with him. I don't have his personal contact information. Tomorrow's news today, baby. You got it. No, I did not. I did not get in contact with the cow after Lou passed. I do have contact with the family, but that's the extent of it. Hey, Jason, you still in the chat? Where's he at? Jason Gage from New York, please report to the chat. Hopefully he didn't have to dip. There he is. Hey, Jay, that shit that you tagged me in earlier, the president was supposed to be signing something today. It is officially 3 p.m. on the East Coast. Do you have anything more on that? I have zero way to check it right now. I've got God and everything. I got monitors next to me, camera here. Like, I can't. I'm not Lou. I don't have like another phone. I got an iPad, but my daughter stole it. It's, doing kid things. The last time I had communication with her, she was having a hard time. Yeah, Zach Avid Trader. Yeah, he's good people. He's good people. Yeah, no problem, Jay. I'm not going to end it anytime soon. I just figured you might be tracking on that. So if you want to check up and see if that was bullshit, because to be honest with you, I didn't have. I normally get some communication if there's going to be a signing when it involves finance or our market because of my contacts, and they didn't have anything on the schedule today.
Okay. Question, bro.
And Paisa, sorry. The last thing that Lou told me was that he loved me. Sorry. Give me a minute, okay. Oh. All right, pull myself together.
Clan mentioned afraid Lou left his wife access to all the stuff he invested in. But we know Lou was a smart man and always had contingencies in place.
Yes, he did. Yeah, that's why it's hard for me to watch some of his videos because you guys saw like 10% of what he and I experienced in tens of thousands of hours of being on the phone, communications, and just conversations and real shit going down. And yeah, the last thing he told me he loved me and my family was going to be great. So I can't watch his videos just because it's very fresh. It's that family member that we lost too soon, so. Yeah, Big John, I agree with you. Most of the time it's going to be on at 5 p.m. Jason had pushed out a post to me earlier and it said that the boss was supposed to be signing. It was a big news. It was a key piece of financial legislation that was supposed to affect the market structure bill, and it was supposed to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But like I said, through my contacts, they didn't have anything on the schedule. Not an appearance, nothing for signing. So, and it is Friday. I mean, the boss never stops working. He's not Biden. It's not at 10 a.m. He's got to go lay down for his nap. President Trump works probably 16 hours a day or more for as much shit as everybody talks. And as soon as we can get some of the stuff that needs to be implemented in Greenland under control, a lot more transparency is going to take place because with the threat that's currently existing, some information can't be released because y'all on the East Coast might be in some danger. So. Yep, Benji, we are definitely going to do a get together. That is still in the plans. It's still in the works. I'll be in communication when it comes to that. All right, thanks, Jason. I appreciate you. I copy. I just wasn't like I said. They weren't tracking anything on the schedule, and he didn't have any movements scheduled as well. But Benji, yeah, we're definitely going to get something together. To celebrate after everything goes down and probably have a memorial for the big guy and a time to get together and shoot the shit. See, Mojo, it's going to matter in the manner in which XLM is going to be utilized. And to be honest, I don't have enough intel at this point in time to see exactly how XLM is going to be utilized. I know it has its purpose, but I don't know how it's going to be utilized in the system moving forward. It's going to be, I just don't know how. And that'll depend on um, the movement on XLM when the system's implemented will be fully contingent on how it's being utilized and at what speed, because it's the speed and the friction of usage after implementation that is going to cause the price action that you're going to want to see. I saw something about UFC.
Yeah, Jason said, word about a get together. You know, there's a UFC fight at the White House.
I'm waiting for an invite. One of my buddies has already got, well, he's friends with Dana, but he's already going to be there. I'm hoping to catch an invite. Andy, or DJ, this, I would love to fucking come key with y'all. I don't want to see Connor get his ass kicked, but I do. Especially if Mikey's fighting. If him and Mikey are going at it, like, I'm torn because I like both of them. No problem, Paisa. No problem. I'm sorry I couldn't get on sooner. I've been dealing with a lot of bullshit. Y'all seen what's been going on. There's a lot of shit that needs to be taken care of by federal law enforcement, and not a lot of us to do it. And our numbers are low. So we're putting people in places where they need to be with the agencies that are hit hardest right now. And most of us on the outside of that, in other collateral areas, are suffering the shortages because we're giving up whatever we can so that we can get control over the millions of fucking illegals they flooded back into the country.
Vincent asked a good question. He said, sorry, joined in late. Anything going to happen with counterfeit selling of shares? Naked short selling.
Do not count on it. You want me to lie to you? I'll blow smoke up your ass. Yeah, they're going to do some shit about it. To be realistically honest, I don't see shit happening with all the previous fucking indiscretions and crimes on Wall Street. I see them going on chain and there being kind of like a black swan to reset that system. I mean, don't get me wrong, I would like to see it, because even with the fucking failure to delivers, there's a bunch of deep and nefarious shit that occurred that fucked a lot of us up, and I want accountability for that, but I also have to be realistic at this point in time. I just don't see it. I see them getting the fucking King's X, moving forward on chain, and the fuckery stops, which I'm not okay with, but I'll have to be okay with. Yep, Gator's got it right. All off the books. Yep, just like Lou, you guys got to remember, at the point in my life where I met Lou, I was very vulnerable because I was learning all this stuff the same way that you guys are, and I trusted this guy, and we became brothers from other mothers, and he gave me insight and a new skill that's, I mean, a lot of times that's very hard once you're a certain age to be like, yeah, you know, you got to suck at something before you can be good at it. And I learned my lessons, some of them the hard way, some of them the easy ways, but I had Lou there to make sure that the message stuck and the information was there, because I think Lou even knew at some point that we were going to be doing this without him. Yep, Benji, I think down the road, we're going to set something up to be able to build that orphanage for the blind children that he wanted to do in DR. I think everybody's going to be in a place where we can make sure that we give it the attention it's going to need and the monetary support it's going to need. So look for that. Thanks, Benji. I appreciate you. All right, what else y'all got?
Marco said, would you still consider it number 2 in X-Force or more usage with XDC/HBAR? I'm not sure.
It's convoluted. It's kind of a difficult question. Yes, X-Force. They're definitely part of X-Force. However, you want your leverage point to always be at your strongest, where you're most leverage. You're going to want to have your resources and assets there. However, you don't want everything to be in the same boat. So you got to decide your percentages when you're taking money that you're trading time for dollars now. You're taking that money. You're going to have to take your percentages and know how much you're putting into your primary, which is going to be your heaviest investment, and then your secondary investment stacks. Be able to divide those up equally because you're going to make money on them eventually. But the investment for return ratio on all three of those is not going to be the same. The bang for your buck is what you're looking for. Dark Lord, what's up?
You also don't want all your eggs in one fucking basket.
Absolutely. See, I kind of got my ass fucked a couple times when it comes to 401ks. Yes and no. No, because my ass still hurts. And yes, because future investments, TSPs, 401ks, IRAs, all of it, they're all going to be on chain. They're all going to be tokenized. Which means transparency, which means less fuckery. The HMO as it currently sits is, as Big John says, trash.
Absolutely.
So those of y'all that have 401ks and you have the availability to borrow from your 401k, not withdraw, because there's tax consequences, but if you have the availability to borrow against your 401k, do so. Borrow against the 401k, take that and put it into your favorite position, your favorite coin that has a purpose that might run in the not so distant future, and then make those little payments to repay the loan that you took from yourself. Because there's no taxes when you take a loan from yourself. And should this run, you just cut a check back to yourself. You don't have to pay taxes on it, and then you tell your employer, mahalo, and you dip out.
You got two good questions.
Deuce Keller, I was violated by AMC. Welcome to the club. We got jackets. All right, what do we got?
Killer Duckling said, when do you think we'll get the crypto Visa card utilization?
I think, well, you got to look at Ripple currently. Ripple currently already has partnerships with Visa and MasterCard both. So the real question, I'm about to get another dip. I'm going to be quitting here pretty quick, so I'm just enjoying it while it lasts. With Visa and MasterCard, the tech is already in place. Now, what's most likely going to occur, and you guys can probably run this through Grok, and Grok is going to say the same thing, because I like to see myself as kind of Grokish at some point in time, because I'm intelligent. I'm just playing. When it comes to Visa, MasterCard, Visa is going to have most of the point of sale friction with it. So using and mobilizing stablecoins through your financial institutions via Visa to point of sale or MasterCard for credit card purchases, or however the fuck MasterCard's doing their thing. Does MasterCard have a point of sale purchase for a bank to POS, or is it all? I think it's all credit. It's all credit related. However, that doesn't change the game, because they're still going to be running those transactions on stablecoin, and then the system is going to pay out the merchants in fiat currency.
MasterCard acquired Vise, a technology platform for point-of-sale payment options.
Money. So as long as the merchant that's utilizing the Visa technology or the MasterCard technology or the Star system for all the credit cards technology, as long as they want a fiat currency and the fiat currency exists, the vendor, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover, all those are going to pay out in that fiat currency. But those transactions from the financial institution are all going to be done in stablecoin. The technology is already in place. They're ready to go. So when the banks say, you hear people say, oh, the banks are just preparing. The banks have been prepared for a hot minute.
Perkins asked if there's any possibility of tax-free crypto capital gains.
Yes. It's already been rumored out. This is a difficult question because the president wants to do it. The president wants to drop all of the capital gains tax from all U.S. based or created cryptocurrencies and stablecoins. He wants to do it. The steps that it's going to take legislatively to be able to do that may take some time, but I do see it in our future.
Gator's asking the best if there's a.
I saw you, John. Go ahead.
The best way to reach you by email, or what would be the best way to reach you?
The best way to reach me is probably not email because I still get a shit ton. It's going to be a DM here on not here because I'm not on X. I was going to do the live on X, but then I would have cut out a bunch of people that aren't currently on X that are on YouTube. So if John and Greg are down, we'll probably do spaces later this afternoon and catch the evening crowd because there are people that are at work today. I love you guys. I'm sorry you guys missed this one. But we'll probably try to follow the table talks up with a spaces, and then we'll have them both posted. We'll get this posted here in a little bit. HBAR, XLM, of course they're good plays. Bob Coy, XRP. If XRP was not a good play, I would not be on YouTube or X. I'd be gone. Nobody would know who I was.
On a different note, Vox Media asked, do you think Alberta will separate and join the USA?
I think Alberta is primed to separate. Joining the U.S., however, we'll see. I think that Alberta sees what's going on with the socialist communist out of Ottawa, and a lot of Canadians don't want anything to do with it. I'm not against Canadians. I love Canadians. I'm a huge hockey fan. I've played hockey since I was old enough to be in skates. I've got a lot of Canadian friends. Alberta is the most conservative province up there, and I think that they are taking a stand, and hopefully Canadians in British Columbia and the other provinces follow. If not, there's going to be a huge block of land that's not going to be Canadian in between. However, the U.S. will have an excellent relationship with Alberta and provide them whatever support that they need while they sort out the issues with the other leftists that are trying to ruin that great country. Rolling like a boss. I'm not familiar with SHX, and I am rolling hard with ZBCN. J-Rod from the Top Ropes, Manifest Destiny. If y'all have not read The Art of the Deal, I highly recommend you jump on Amazon, pick up a copy of it, or see if there's a digital copy of it. If you drive a lot and listen to that or read that book, once you understand how the boss works, how his brain works, how he gets shit done, when you see shit on the news, when you see shit abroad, you're going to be like, I know exactly what the fuck this dude's doing. Yep, see Big John's tracking it as well. The Art of the Deal is a great book. And then The Art of War, Sun Tzu. Y'all want to kick ass at life? You want to be movers and shakers in whatever industry or area that you're in? You should definitely be studying both those books, because you're going to be able to know how to move with people that don't want no good for you. Yeah, rolling like a boss. You catch it on the replay. ZBCN, bro. You ain't doing wrong. Keep stacking. Keep stacking, because there's a lot of fucking institutions. There's a lot of companies. It's going to be one of the top payroll technologies when the new system kicks off. What y'all got planned out for the weekend? I'm probably going to be cruising with Chick and Joe here tomorrow to go check out a fucking 66 El Camino. Yeah, big storm. Cindy's pointed out there. If y'all are in that area, make sure you're preparing properly. Make sure you got shit in your cars. That way, if you get stuck somewhere, it doesn't cost you. Rocco Taco, welcome. News on XRP? Buy it, hold it, shut the fuck up. XRP is in a beautiful position. The price action does not concern me a fucking bit. It could be 30 cents. I wouldn't care. 30 cents, I'd probably fucking throw another fucking 20 or 30 grand at it. It could be $5. I don't give a fuck. That's not my sell point. And I got a lot of friends and family that every time there's a price run or dump, get a little worked up, because they ain't been through what we've been through with the Wall Street side. And I tell them, is that your sell? Is that your sell price? Oh, no. And I go, what are you fucking worried about then? Are you looking to get out? Is that your exit price? If it's not your exit price, it's what it is. Enjoy the fucking rolls. Like, the biggest mistake that a lot of us make in getting emotional with this, which is bad, and I'll go into that in a minute, is there's a lot of people that are in crypto that are day trading it to be able to pay their day-to-day bills.
Don't do that.
Some people can't get a job, and they're using money that they had saved and rolling it in and out of crypto on the ups and the downs, and they're using it to pay their bills or doing what they got to do, and that's a lot of the price action we're seeing. In fact, when you see the price points day in and day out go up to a certain point and then come down to a certain point, and it's both the same points, you know it's on a rotation, and you can see the day traders are up in it. So as far as emotions go, and some of y'all have learned this lesson, some of y'all have not, anytime emotion comes into a trade, you need to back the fuck up from the table, because like in life, you will never fucking ever make a good decision when you're doing it based upon emotions. That goes with fucking crypto, that goes with Wall Street, that goes with your significant other, that goes with dealing with your kids. If it's an emotional decision, it's a fucked up decision. Back up, go cold, do what you need to do, get yourself in the right fucking state of mind, make a good decision, no emotions involved.
And Tyson asked, KO, would you still buy silver and gold still?
I would buy the shit out of silver on the bottoms.
Yep.
Hold on, I want to get to this Vox Media with the Venezuelan oil. We do not have the Venezuelan oil. We've gotten Venezuelan oil from the tankers that we've seized based upon what they owed us from a previous deal that was lapsed in the past. Alberta is very much still on our radar. I see that pipeline moving forward. Venezuelan oil, you guys got to understand, And a lot of y'all that aren't very deep in it, there's different types of oil come from different parts of the world. Some require a little bit of refinement, some require a shitload of refinement. Venezuelan oil is used for certain stuff, so you guys have to be aware that the oil that comes from the Middle East is different, the oil that comes from Russia is different, the oil that comes from Alberta is different. Here in the US, we are sitting on a shit ton of oil. Don't let oil or people talking about oil get you worked up. We have a ton of fucking oil here to where if we had to get none from anywhere else in the world and we just relied on our own oil in the Gulf of America, we'd be just fine. The issue here in the States is we need to build the infrastructure to be able to process the oil and refine it. Because a lot of that infrastructure was torn down in those 4 years with the Green New scam. All right, what was the question?
It was just asking if you would still buy silver and gold.
Yep.
which-
Stacking silver, gold. Gold is never going to be a bad play. However, you're going to want to buy gold at the cheapest point that you can get it, and you're going to want to buy it in real coins. If you guys are buying paper gold, and there's a lot of movement out there now that's like, oh, move your 401k over to us with Birch Gold. Or name your gold supplier and it's all in an account where like, oh look, I got this much gold. But like if you don't have physical custody, it's like your fucking crypto coins. If you don't have physical custody, you don't own it. So when it comes to gold coins, what I would tell you is you're gonna want to go with the 1 ounce. You're gonna want to go with the 1 ounce gold dollars. If you can get a hold of some of the smaller ones, the smaller coins, you're gonna want to have those stacked up and secured as well, just to have a backup. We ever have an issue, EMP, system goes down, whatever it may be, you're going to want to have that gold and that silver on hand because the world will not stop spinning if you got gold and silver in your pocket. It's civilization has run since the beginning of time on precious metals, and it's not going to stop. Yep. Clan McBray is very correct. And that's a huge deal. Now we just need the infrastructure to fucking process and store it. Do I see the American dollar getting back to gold again? Well, we went off the gold standard. We went off the gold standard for a reason, and it was nefarious. I can say probably not a gold standard. Don't hold me to it, but I can say maybe an oil-backed digital currency. Whether I could say, you could say, yeah, we're gonna back a stable coin with something we have in abundance. Getting back onto a gold standard. That would require a lot of deep and evil and nefarious figures from around the world to cease to exist. See, that's rough with commodities. I get that. Dollar backed by commodities. Commodities will roll up and down day in and day out, where if we're sitting on an abundance of oil, and I know oil falls into that category, but when you're sitting on an abundance, you basically can control the price of it. That's why you had the Saudis and the entire Middle East there for a while. Stupid fucking rich for a reason. They sat on the oils that they sat on, but we had the deal with the Saudis where the petrodollar was the US dollar. Very possible, killer. I think Plan may be right. We may see a digital petrodollar, or one of the other rare earth minerals. once we can get the dome established in Greenland and reliant on ourselves for rare earth minerals for batteries and semiconductors, that's putting us in a new category. If y'all hadn't been tracking some of the posts that I put up, the one that was most intriguing was the strategic positioning of our president with Russia and possibly China as the three world superpowers that control everything, because the leftists have everything else. And they're failing badly. I think Argentina is working on it, Big John. I don't have the knowledge of it currently, but I know that Milei is on the same page as the boss, so there's intercommunications. It would not surprise me. Mojo, that was the tip of the iceberg. Let me say that. That was a sneak peek. That was like when you go to the movies and you got the previews and you're like, oh, that was badass, but that's all you got of it. That was a preview. And at this point in time, I am not so sure that that wasn't an extraction that was previously set up to get Maduro out of there. And he's working with us. What was utilized in Venezuela was a show of force to the rest of the world that no matter who you are, no matter where you're at, no matter how much you run your mouth, we can touch you. And had it not been for the one chopper being hit by small arms fire, we wouldn't have had any injuries. And that bird did make it back to... Do you see XDC being used in the stock market? I could definitely see XDC being used for something along those lines on the street. I still think that it's going to run on Ripple's chain, but we'll see how XDC is utilized.
Fox Media said, would the U.S. government ever seize gold and silver during a national emergency? I think they did that during the Great Depression.
Look at the law, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the law. Look at the law when it comes to precious metals, and prepare yourself. Do I think this administration would? I don't. However, what did we just go through? God forbid we ever run into someone like a Mamdani in the White House or a Newsom in the White House, and the terror that they would rain upon the country for the greater good. You're talking about the Iraqi dinari, or are you talking about the existing currency that's being used? Yep, Big John has definitely got that. We saw that. What was that, like 3-4 days ago? Running 24/7. The exchange is already ready to run on the chain. So when people tell you, oh yeah, it's fucking 10 years out, or yeah, we'll see you in 2030, like, when I tell people the banks are already prepared, the streets prepared. Yeah, I think it was Wednesday, John. Robot Godzilla. Now, was that the digital Iraqi dinari, or is this the one they've been using since God? When the fuck did we get out of there? You know what I'm talking about. Because they were supposed to come out with a digital Iraqi dinari that was going to be on chain. Well, M. Tyson, the choice is easy for me because I've known Chad Bianco shit longer than this guy's been alive. I've known Chad since early in my career, and my sons have hunted with him. So I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, I know Chad's character when people aren't looking,
Yes, sir.
and the integrity in that man is amazing. And people keep bringing up, oh, he knelt with BLM. No, he didn't. He knelt and he prayed with a young man there on the scene. But everybody wants to talk shit. They don't want to listen to the facts of the matter. Chad is ready to take on the job. Chad understands what he faces and the fact that if he does win, he's still going to have a legislature full of fucking leftist retards. But if we can get the SAVE Act passed, which is probably going to require the filibuster nuked, and we can get a legitimate election moving forward, we can probably get a lot of these fucking socialist commie bastards out of the states they're ruining. And I don't have anything against Steve Hilton. I don't want anybody to think, oh, this guy fucking doesn't like Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton's a great guy. Steve Hilton's a great guy. However, Chad Bianco has operated in this fucking workspace and understands the politics of California, understands the corruption of California, and knows where to press and how hard. That indubitably is a black flag behind me. Do you know what that
Yeah,
means?
for those that know.
Who knows what the black flag means?
Yep.
No surrender, no quarter. We're at that point now where we got to fight for our country, and we can do it peacefully, like this, before it turns into bloodshed, where none of us want it to go.
Not the ratings.
So hold your ground. He said, Raiders homes? I'm not a Raiders fan, bro. I'm not. I am a Kings fan. I am a Kings fan. Unfortunately, we're having one of those years. You guys probably see me on Twitter fucking losing my mind. Fucking fire Jim Hiller. Fuck that dude. Jim Hiller needs to go and Drew Doughty needs to retire or go play for Toronto.
Gatsby, you'll know when it's that time, bro.
Yeah. It is not time. You will know. China and Taiwan. The only reason that China wants Taiwan is because Taiwan makes our semiconductors. However, like I said, there's a strategic alliance now with some BRICS countries, BRICS nations, and the little man seems to be backing up a little bit because he understands that Taiwan may end up theirs once we're elsewhere for our semiconductor rare earth minerals. Honestly, I think that China doesn't give two fucks about Taiwan. The only reason they want it is because our shit is coming from there, and they wanted to show force. They wanted a saber rattle.
Well, realistically, dude, China and Taiwan, if you got family in the Philippines, I wouldn't sweat it a whole bunch. China is a paper tiger. Like 98% of China's tech is fucking stolen from us. And they rebuilt it poorly and it doesn't work. And there goes Big John from the top ropes. Flying elbow. Y'all read that comment, right? And everybody that's opposed to it magically fucking, oh, that guy's evil. We won't even get into the topic of history and who writes history and how it's told and how a lot of the history now is, well, wait a second, did it actually happen that way?
Subjective. Subjective is the word.
Is this guy actually evil? I don't believe much anymore.
I don't know if he's still in.
And John is correct. The plan for Iran is to get that regime out of there. And I think their people are well on the way of doing that because every time they start threatening to hang people and shoot people, we press, they stop. The people need to take back their country. And I think we're allowing them the opportunity to do that because they want a democratic Arab nation instead of a sociopathic Muslim nation. Yep, the plan is right. The winners write history. And there's a lot of shit we've been involved in where we were the winners and the history is not in our fucking favor. You start talking to people from outside the U.S., finding out how what they witnessed in those areas based upon what we were told is different, has me questioning why we listen to who we listen to, and now the fact that we have this available to us and we can move information at speed. They can't lie to us like they used to be able to. It wasn't Dan Rather on the evening news telling us this is facts. Now we can look and go, okay, no, that's bullshit.
The gentleman was in here earlier and asked, "Hello, sir. I might have said this before, but what exchange for crypto do you feel safe with to buy and transfer to a cold wallet?"
Uphold. That's the exchange that I feel comfortable with. They've never done me wrong. I've never had any issues with them. I haven't had any delays moving off exchange onto cold wallet or from cold wallet onto exchange. And transactions have been like that. Mojo, what's the difference? Scary shit, isn't it? I'm not saying other exchanges are bad, folks. What I'm saying is Uphold is a Ripple partner. And my meat and potatoes is with Ripple. So I feel comfortable using a Ripple partner. And they've done me really well. I'm not paid by Ripple or Uphold in any way, shape, or form. I'm not endorsed by them. I don't get money for giving you codes. I never will. Yeah, see, the issue that I have with Armstrong is he's a CEO. I don't disagree with a lot of shit he's saying. However, pause for effect, ... The motives behind what he's saying aren't always what he is saying.
You have to remember the that person in the game.
Box, if I could bring him back for one day, we go up in the mountains in Montana. Some bourbon, some good freaking Dominican sticks, some comfortable chairs, little campfire action. Just chill. As opposed to Coinbase, I would look at Kraken. Just saying. Kraken's good. They're a bank. They got their bank charter. I don't have a lot of dealings with Coinbase, but this dude came up out of the woodwork and created some fucking drama, and the boss is not happy with him for doing that. I did not. I did not pick up one of those debit cards. Yep, the Ledger Nano is money. You just have to be able to secure it properly. Yeah, my financial institution, with those cards, it just wouldn't have worked for me. I wasn't opposed to it. It would have been no benefit for me with where I do most of my banking.
Taylor Duckman said, will the IMF be turning XRP into ESDR? And if so, how will it affect retail holding XRP?
We'll see. The IMF has definitely got its own set of priorities. They've got their own lane to maintain. However, the shift and the movement of others may affect what the IMF does. They are doing well. They are doing well, Sheila. Obviously, they wish fucking the big guy was still around, but all right, what else we got? So y'all are on track. You know about Cold Wallet. You know about transitioning to stable coins to be able to move to your financial institutions. The amount you should be moving is up to you. Do your homework. Have it written down. Write a plan. Get a notebook from the store. Write a plan. Hey, this is what I need to operate quarterly, semi-annual, annually. Excuse me, I had to bust ass. And then when you have that plan in place, you can't deviate from it, because when this goes down and you're starting to stick and move, you're gonna. That's gonna itch when it dries. Sorry. I'm fucking retarded. Help me. Hey, help me out. When shit gets chaotic after this goes down and you got the cash is available and you're moving it to accounts, there's probably going to be a bit of a supply shock initially. Vehicles, housing, the shit you're going to want to buy. So you may have to be patient if you can't get in on something initially, or you're going to have to use your head. But you're going to want a plan in place on what your priorities are, whether your priority number one is housing, your priority number two is vehicles, or it could be travel, it could be debt, it could be debt for your entire family, whatever it may be. You want to put it in writing. That way, when you sit down, when your fucking brain is fried, caffeine's not helping, the nicotine's keeping you from fucking losing your shit, you want to be able to look at your shit. Okay, what do we got on the list? That's the next one on the list. And you got another fucking piece of paper around. Okay, what does this entail? How do I go line by line with it? Hit your objectives. This is what fucking people that stick and move do. Hit the objectives on it. Go to the next fucking line item. And then don't be afraid to say, hey, you know what? I don't have time for this right now, and tell people no. That's not something I'm interested in at this time, maybe at a later date. Or we're not doing this right now. I'm not doing this right now, but it is on my radar.
Big John said I often think about giving a little of the XRP profit to Lou's family after all is said and done.
Lou's family is doing well, Big John. Lou's family is doing well. They definitely operate in the same workspace as Big Lou. They're doing well.
However, he did want to build that orphanage and other.
The orphanage is happening.
Yeah. And that would be more.
I think we're going to spearhead that I've talked with Ben about it, but not so recently. I'll have to reconnect with him because I know he was down with it. Jason, to get back to your comment, I have no clue about Uphold back in New York. I know New York is on its own fucking program, and the legislation up there was what was preventing Uphold from operating in New York. Car washes and storage units. Hey man, don't forget laundry mats. There's motherfuckers that make a ton off of both of those you put up and laundry mats. Radio stations, hell yes. You got to deal with the SEC then, Big John. He's like, I already deal with the FCC.
Always learning what to say. Throw those away so the wife doesn't see.
Silver. If you're just now getting into silver, you're a little late. However, better late than never. It's always good to stack up some silver. Do I think silver continues to climb? I do. How much? Who knows? It's going to depend on how much turmoil we have. And I do see some turmoil in the financial markets with what's about to occur. So you still may get a bump up a run, but it's always good to have physical silver on hand. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to close it up for the Table Talk Live, the first Table Talk Live. But look for a noti here in the next couple of hours on X where we can set up time for a Spaces. And we'll jump on for a Spaces. We'll probably give it a half hour to an hour for Spaces, and you guys can get on and we can actually have conversation as opposed to me sitting up here, the fat dip and busting ass and being a nasty fuck. I love you guys, and without further ado, I will see y'all on the flip side. Mr. X Spaghetti, signing off.